Go Phillip.
Have you ever wondered how Pablo Escobar became one of the most powerful drug lords ever? Pablo Escobar was one of the most influential people in Colombian history. You'll learn of Pablo Escobar's early life, and you'll learn about Pablo Escobar's rise to fame. And you'll also learn about how notorious he became in the country of Colombia. The life of Pablo Escobar was very interesting, and there was a lot of issues and a lot of problems. Pablo was born on December 9th, 1949. Driven and ambitious, he used to always tell his friends that he was going to be the president of Colombia. And he grew up with no money, and he really liked to do things for other people and give back to his community. Pablo's upbringing really caused him to have a lot of ambition and seek money. And he really wanted to be able to provide for his family and provide for everyone that he cared about and really give back to his community because that's how he was brought up. He really didn't have much. So Pablo entered the drug trade in the 1970s. He developed his major cocaine operation in 1975. He went to the jungle and they developed a paste from a plant and then soon developed it into cocaine. He controlled all of the crime in Medellin, which is the city where he lived in Colombia. It was the Medellin cartel. At one point, Pablo Escobar supplied 80% of the cocaine to the United States. He was elected to Colombia's Congress and became the 7th richest man in the world. Pablo was named by Forbes as the 7th richest man in the world, as I said, averaging $30 million every week. Pablo's final years were very hard and very devastating to the community, and there was a lot of effort and a lot of search put into Pablo's rescue. Pablo Escobar was a wanted fugitive from every country because of all the cocaine that was brought into pretty much every country across the world. Because it would go from Colombia to Florida, usually through Miami, and then it would go all the way up to New York and across the coast, across the country to California, and then it would just spread everywhere else. So he served a 5-year jail sentence at first in a prison that he built, and he came to a conclusion with the Colombian government that he was going to stay in the prison that he built and everything. Later, they found out actually that he had people there and executed people there while he was in prison and still had his operation running. So that came to an end really quick. He escaped from prison in 1992 after trying to be removed from that jail. The president of Colombia actually sent someone to come confiscate him, and he escaped and was not seen for about 3 years. Now, after a 3-year manhunt, he was shot and killed by Colombian police.
Wow.
He was shot and killed, and a lot of people still disagree on killing him because he actually gave a lot of his money to his community and to his family and to where he grew up. As horrible as the things that he did, the executions, the beheadings, the rape, everything that happened, some people still thought of him as a hero because he gave back to his community. And that's the life of Pablo Escobar. And after years of all those years on the run, and even that death, like I said, he was still a popular icon. Pablo Escobar lived a life of power and wealth along with all those crimes. And his early childhood brought him to be that ambitious. As much as the wrong things that he did, He finally reached power and became a leader, even though all of those things were terrible. But Pablo's final years were spent on the run and eventually was killed by Colombian police. The life of Pablo was a lesson that no matter how powerful you are, no matter how much money you have, no matter who you know, justice will always be served. My references were from LatinAmericanHistory.com and Bibliography.com. Philip Gunder, thank you.
Wow. Sorry. That was very nice. It was very nice. Good. No?